That bizarre story out of Turkey. Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi going into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, but reportedly never coming out. Turkish authorities think he was murdered, chopped into pieces, and taken out, packed in boxes. And this story gets more and more bizarre every day. Let's go now live to Istanbul, where we find an analyst for Turkey's TRT World, Yusuf Erim, who is watching this story unfold. And from what I understand, Yusuf, there are a lot of leaks that are coming out gradually, and we're learning more by the hour. What do you know?
Well, the latest right now is Turkey's leading daily Sabah newspaper just printed a list of what they're calling a 15-man assassination team. That is the flight manifesto of the two private jets that the Turkish state agency and President Erdogan in his previous comments say are of interest. Now, this is unconfirmed by state media, but Daily Sabah has printed a manifesto, a flight manifesto of the list. And I mean, it's looking pretty damning right now from what they've printed, because the second passenger on the list, his name is Dr. Salah Mohammed al-Tubaigi. He's the Saudi General Security Department's head of forensic evidence. So he came into Istanbul late on the morning of October 2nd, and he left the night of October 2nd. So it leads to the question, what is the head of forensic evidence doing in Istanbul at the Saudi consulate while Jamal Khashoggi was in there? Why did he come? Why did he leave? Why was he at the consulate? Again, this is unconfirmed, but this is the flight manifesto. Those two jets are of interest, and it's not looking good for the Saudis at the moment.
Yeah, but Yusuf, on the same note, you know, this did happen at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, which technically means that it was on Saudi soil. So what kind of jurisdiction, what kind of authority would Turkish authorities have as they look into this case? Because effectively, it didn't happen in Turkey.
That's true. It happened on diplomatic soil, and Turkey is respecting all of Saudi Arabia's diplomatic rights. They summoned the ambassador a couple days ago and requested permission to search the premises. They have allowed Turkish authorities to search the premises, and preliminary searches and investigations inside the consulate have begun. But let's not forget, a week has passed since this supposed crime or incident has happened. So, I mean, there's been a lot of time. A lot of people have walked through what could be a crime scene. And as I just stated, Saudi Arabia's head of forensic evidence has already been inside that consulate, reportedly. Again, I have to use the word reportedly. He left, according to the flight manifesto, he left Riyadh for Istanbul before Khashoggi entered that building. So it's not like he came after this happened. He was on Turkish soil at Istanbul Ataturk International Airport before this happened. So these are very important questions that need to be answered, and the Saudis need to answer these questions, not the Turks.
And of course, it'll be, you know, interesting to see if the Saudis do answer those questions, because it seems like it's all under wraps. What about Jamal Khashoggi? Do we know anything in terms of what problems the Saudi government may have with him? Why would they, and again, this is all hypothetical, allegedly, why would they allegedly be involved in this kind of a murder for all practical purposes?
Well, Jamal Khashoggi was a critic of Mohammed bin Salman, a light critic, though. He wasn't a heavy critic. He believed in reforms. Saudi's reforms. He believed in what Mohammed bin Salman wanted to do. He just didn't see eye to eye on how to get there the same way Mohammed bin Salman did. He's been living in self-exile in Washington. He's been writing for the Washington Post. He was a very prominent member of the media, very well liked in Washington and in Ankara as well. And he had a lot of followers in social media, like I said, very respected by his colleagues. So, I mean, we're seeing this as a rising trend as Saudi Arabia is getting more authoritarian. And Mohammed bin Salman, this could be a message to other Saudi dissidents. Well, I don't know if it's right to call Khashoggi a dissident, but it's definitely a message saying, hey, you're not safe where you go. We can get you anywhere you hide. Now, Istanbul has been a safe haven for GCC and North Africa dissidents, people escaping, pro-Arab Spring people escaping the authoritarian regimes in their country. So it's, I mean, very important that this happened on Turkish soil. It's definitely a message by the Saudi regime. If, like I said, we always have to use if here because it's still a missing person right now.
Sure.
It is not a murder. It is not an assassination. So, but if it is a murder, this is a strong message that Saudi Arabia is sending to all the Saudi expat writers and thinkers.
All right, more questions than answers. Yusuf Erim, who is an analyst for Turkey's TRT World